Let's talk now with Sauk Center head coach Kevin Kuefler as they get the win tonight over Bold. Bold is a challenge, though, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. It's kind of a unique style. They switch so well, so it's kind of goofy, and they're like kind of built to kind of come from behind a little bit. Like they scramble very well and anticipate, and they're big and strong. I mean, they're not tall, but they're strong and athletic kids. You can see why they, the football program and that kind of thing is rolling there. But yeah, they're a tough team for us to play because they're so scrappy, and they play extremely hard as well.
So that's why you have to then learn for your team. You have to adjust to different styles. How do you think Sauk Center is responding with that?
I mean, I thought we were a little inconsistent today. I thought we played well at times. I didn't think we finished the game, and it seemed like the last 10 minutes of it were kind of like go through the motions. I felt like we had control, but we didn't play great. But you're right. Like it's good to see different types of teams because I mean the reality, I say this every time I think you interview me, to win 4 games in March, right? You're going to face teams that play different styles, and you're going to have to you want to see that throughout the year because you never know who you're going to match up with, right? You might match up with a team that plays maybe similar to Bold with their matchup zone and switching everything, and then they got an unbelievably good player, right? And anytime you face a guy like that, Gross is he's a special player. He's so long and gets to his spots and not too rattled, and he's a tough matchup for anybody.
Well, the other player though, Penkert,
yeah.
Boy, he'll take you inside.
Yeah, and he can shoot from the outside, so he's kind of an inside-out problem, and both them guys are scoring over 20 points a game. So we knew coming in we would have to do a decent job at it, and I thought we did okay. At times I guess I was more just frustrated how we finished the game a little bit offensively. But all in all, you take wins, and at times we played well, and we should be happy about that. But we also have to hold ourselves to a high standard. If you don't play well for a full game, you're going to lose to somebody, right? And somebody's going to beat you that maybe shouldn't have type of thing. But, I guess that's what I got for that answer.
You played a lot of players here tonight. Was that by design, or is that just the way it worked out?
Yeah, I mean, by design. We don't plan to play 10 the whole way through by any means. But I thought, first game back from break, this and that, they're on a tough stretch, right? They played 3 games this week against Benson and I can't remember, Gibbon or GFW, so they're on their 3rd game for the week, and I worried we were going to be rusty and a little bit, I don't want to say out of shape because we should be fresh. Obviously fresh or rusty, whatever you want to call it. But I did plan to play 10. I didn't necessarily know how many minutes or that kind of thing. But moving forward, we'll see how that goes.
There are times in a ball game when you watch Jay Newbert play and his skills are on display. What kind of things is he doing out there that impress you as the coach?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I feel fortunate to be his coach. Right, first off, for having him for 5 years is that probably never happen again, right? To have a player like that. But what impresses me is just the composure, the ability to make a mistake if he does make a mistake, which isn't obviously a lot, but he never gets rallied. He just keeps playing. He plays extremely hard. And this year, we're not, maybe he's gotten, I'm not going to say he has less freedom, like I said last time, I know, but I said that same thing. But he does have the freedom, but he's moving the ball and sharing the ball and moving better. But yeah, the first thing that stands out is, his composure and then just the overall athleticism. And obviously, he's a special player on both ends.
When you talk about moving, he is really moving. He is so. I don't know of a player that we see play that is faster than him when he starts to go to the basket.
Yeah. You saw it in the fall too, right? In football, he's got a different level of gear than everybody else, and I think his body control is so exceptional that he doesn't necessarily get foul calls sometimes. I'm not saying that he was fouled, but you know what I mean? Because he's so in control for how fast he's going that a little bump, sometimes I'm like, God, how do you miss it? And then you watch it back, it's like, well, that's not that easy to do, right? You're running 100 miles an hour. Obviously you get bumped a little bit and miss it. But, yeah, he can scoot, he can move, and he's a much better defender, than he was a couple years ago. So we need that.
And I think as time goes on, too, it's no secret either that other teams know that, we try to concentrate on Newbert, but Andy Drevelo, he's got every skill, too, doesn't he?
He is. He's really come a long way, and, he's a two-way player. He's always, between him, Jay, and, we throw Jarek a little bit on Gross as well today, but they're always guarding the other team's best players, too, which is not easy to do. And he, I thought, played great defense today on Gross. And, on offense, he was our leading scorer going into the day. So, that's kind of a heck of a – I didn't expect to say that, but he's smooth, can score at 3 levels, and he's efficient ball handler, and he's got a nice body, right? 6'3"-ish, and he's worked on his strength. But yeah, it's been a nice 1-2 combo having both of them guys kind of rolling.
I still am fascinated, too, by your two post players, how just effective they are in their own way. Herkoff, a little taller, thinner, maybe not as strong, but then you throw in the muscle with Troy Hansen. What problems does that present to other teams then?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. They're completely different players, right? I mean, obviously Troy's like, we want him crashing boards and being a physical presence, and it's, he gets jump balls, too. There's some that there's no way, like, a 50-50 ball, he's coming down with it, or it's a jump ball. Does that make sense? He's not going to get the ball ripped away from him, or sometimes Chad maybe does, but Chad's got a little bit more finesse, a little bit more touch, kind of more natural feel. But it's special to have both of them, and we pretty much, I would say, this season have played 90-95% of the time with one of them and the floor at all times. So obviously that helps with rebounds, some dump-offs. But they've been great, especially defensive. We can go zone at any time. We can kind of switch just because we've had one of them out there at all times. But, yeah, the length helps. And since I've been here, minus obviously Jacob Jennison, we haven't had a ton of height, so it's kind of fun to have.
And as you know, too, that jump hook that Chad Herkoff takes, that's a beautiful shot. It is.
Unguardable, right? And sorry, cut you off. Unguardable, right? And we're still evolving. Like, they're still working. We're not where we need to be by any means. You said before the game and all week at practice, our goals it's pretty simple. We need to be a better basketball team, right? And to do that, every individual player needs to improve, and that's one of the things we're trying to work on them, trying to get them both to have complementary moves and a go-to move. For Chad, it's for sure the hook and that kind of thing. For Troy, it's more of like a drop-step bully type of thing. But we're going to need them to get more than just dump-offs. We want to be able to play through our posts a little bit. And obviously defensively they help us when other teams have posts as well.
Yeah, as you talk about getting better, you have to, because when you look at some of these other teams, what Osakis did at Melrose last night, then, too, what Annandale did at Albany, and those teams are all in the section, so you better keep on improving, right?
Yeah, I always think January, and I haven't coached long enough to really have an opinion, but I always think January you grow a lot, and February you separate yourself, right? So we have to really, really grow as a team and start being versatile. We have a lot of stuff in, which is maybe a broad way to say it, but I don't know that we're great at it, so we kind of got to fine-tune what we have in, and obviously we're adding stuff as we go, but we're also still kind of like feeling out where we're really at, where we're at with rotation, that type of stuff. But yeah, when you look at our conference and you even dig deeper into our section, it's not going to be easy, but I don't think it ever has, right? That's how Section 6AA has always been a gauntlet, but you got to have the mentality that we wouldn't want it any other way.
Just one final point. Had a girls-boys doubleheader tonight. Do you like the doubleheader setup?
I do. Yeah, I do. I think it creates a good atmosphere, and our girls are always fun to watch. And obviously they've had storied success over the years, so I do enjoy it. I think we have 2 more this year. Kind of fun atmosphere. No, I asked our kids too. Do you like it? Because anytime you have an abnormal day, and sometimes we're always the late game, so it's kind of a long day by the time you're here for the the JVs and the C squads. But I'm a big fan of it, and it's always fun to watch our girls play, and we don't get a lot chance to do that, right? Oftentimes we're playing on the same night, whether we're home or away, and that kind of thing. So it's fun to be in the same building at the same time. I'm hoping it's fun for the community fans, that kind of thing as well.
So Tuesday home with Montevideo. Montevideo played at Melrose tonight. Melrose won by 1.
Okay.
And then Thursday, big game at Morris. So, every game is important, isn't it?
For sure, yeah. And then you look at the next week after that, don't get easier at West Central at Melrose, right? So yeah, we got a tough stretch coming, and we'll learn more about our teams, which is ultimately what you want to do. Obviously, you want to feel fortunate that you learn about your team without having to lose. It doesn't always work that way, but yeah, we got 4 tough games coming up, and all kind of 4 different teams between the Montevideos, and obviously Morris at Morris. I've never been in a game there. We've been kind of blown out every time we've ever played at Morris, so I'm hoping we can, give them a run for their money and see what happens. And then, the old cliche, one game at a time and one practice at a time. I like our team. I do. Gradual growth, we've always said, but we're not there yet. We got to be better.
Yeah, I'm sure that's your message, right? Boys, we're playing great. Keep it going, and don't just sit back and think it's just always going to magically happen.
For sure, right? Success is not a straight line, PJ Fleck, right? We always say, that there's going to be ups and downs, and we don't want to have a letdown. I thought we played great over Christmas break as a team, and then you have 8 days off, and today, we played well at times for sure, and are happy with the win. But we know that, to do what we think we can do, we're going to have to put full games together and keep progressing, no doubt about it.